Hello, I am Olandre Olhunribia, and for this micro-teaching demo, I am going to feature the discussion part of my lesson plan. My intended audience for this portion is a group of 8th grade students. To enhance their engagement, I'll be employing a simulation game enriched with 3D elements and relevant multimedia that includes movies, clips, and music, ensuring they become fully immersed in the subject matter that I am going to discuss. Good day, students! I hope you're ready to accumulate new knowledge. I am excited, so do you. I am certain. So, let's get into it. Who among you are watching sci-fi movies? How about come into contact with the What If series that what would be like in the next 100 and 1,000 of years? Well, perhaps science suggests that we came from the species of apes. What could go wrong wondering the possibilities, right? With that being said, class, today we are going to talk about the evolution theory, and at the end of the lesson, you're expected to, at the cognitive level, understand the principle of natural selection and the theory of evolution, including the process of adoption and how it leads to biodiversity. An affective level, develop an appreciation for the diversity of life and the interconnectedness of all living organisms. In psychomotor level, visualize the process of mutation, natural selection, genetic drift, and migration. Before we get into the discussion, does anyone here haven't heard about the song, Ang Lahat ng Bagay ay Magkaugnay? Well, I presume that everyone here have heard about it. So, let's just view the short clip of it.
Hayop, halaman, tao ay magkaugnay. Ang lahat ng bagay ay magkaugnay. Magkaugnay ang lahat. Ang lahat ng bagay ay magkaugnay. Magkaugnay ang lahat. Ang lahat ng bagay ay magkaugnay.
Though it doesn't talk about the evolution theory directly, it is still, however, come up with the concept of everything in this world is connected with one another. The shared genetic code and branching patterns of evolution trees further underscore the interconnectedness of life, highlighting how every living being is a part of vast and interwoven tapestry of evolution history. Ang lahat ng bagay ay magkaugnay indeed. Now class, let's get into our discussion for today. Let's first identify the process of biological evolution, which are the micro and macroevolution. Microevolution is like a subtle dance of change within a population gene pool over a relatively short period of time. It's like a Mother Nature way of fine-tuning a species to fit in its local surroundings. One of the most exciting aspects of microevolution is adaptation, the process that enables a species to better survive and thrive in its specific environment. Think of it as a wardrobe makeover for the butterflies. If a butterfly happens to have a wings pattern that closely matches to the leaves and flower of its forest habitat, it becomes harder for a predator to spot it among the foliage. Over time, through the forces of natural selection, those butterflies with this advantageous wing pattern have higher chance of surviving and passing on their genes. Gradually, the population shift and more butterflies sport this camouflaging wing pattern. This is a classic example of adaptation in action. But let's not forget about the role of mutation and genetic diversity in this process. Every now and then, a butterfly might be born with a slightly different wing pattern due to a genetic mutation. If this new pattern happens to be even more suited to the environment, it could become the next fashion trend among butterfly population. It is important to take note that microevolution isn't about turning butterflies into birds overnight. It's like a gradual process that happens over a many generations. Through this ongoing dance between genetic diversity, mutation, natural selection, and even the movement of butterfly between different areas, this little insect can adjust and adapt to their surroundings in an incredible ways. So class, the next time you're going to a garden or a forest and you spot a butterfly effortlessly blending into its environment, remember that you're witnessing the stunning result of microevolution at work. It's like a nature's own fashion show, where the most stylish and well-adapted individual get to strut their stuff and pass on their genes to the next generation. Now class, I want you to engage in a simulation game called Spore. Spore. The game allows you to design and customize your creature including their appearance, behavior, and abilities. As your creature interact with their environment and other species, you will see the effect of microevolution, particularly the natural selection and adaptation in action. Those creatures with traits better suited to the surroundings are more likely to survive and reproduce, passing on their genes to the future generations. Now let's have macroevolution. It refers to a long-term, large-scale evolutionary change that results to the formation of new species, the diversification of life, and the emergence of major groups of organisms. It encompasses the study of how new species arise, how biodiversity expands and contracts over a geologic time, and how major evolutionary innovation occur. Macroevolutionary processes include the specification, the formation of new species, extension events, adaptation, radiation, diversification of a single lineage into many different species, and the development of complex structure or body plans over a million of years. For example, the evolution of dinosaur into birds, the diversification of mammals after the extinction of dinosaur, and the emergence of flowering plants are all examples of macroevolutionary events. Now let's have mutation. It is a change in DNA sequence of an organism. It can result from errors in DNA replication during cell division or exposure to viral infection. Now class, I want you to look at this simulation game. The game is called Chain Reaction. This can serve as an analogy to illustrate how mutation can spread and impact the genetic makeup of population over time. In this game, the objective is to start a reaction that is spread rapidly from one initial point to adjacent point until a significant portion of the board is affected. Each reaction causes adjacent point to react, triggering a cascading effect. Similarly, in genetics, mutation are random changes in an organism's DNA sequence. This mutation can occur spontaneously or be induced by internal factors such as radiation or chemicals. When a mutation arises in an individual's DNA, it serves as initial point in chain reaction of genetic change. Okay class, bear in mind that in our upcoming meeting, I am looking forward for your exploration and presentation to the Cell to Singularity, where the game encapsulates diverse evolutionary process such as macroevolution, microevolution, mutation, and natural selection. Your insight will be backed up by your research and findings allow us for have a thorough discussion and analysis of how these concepts are depicted within the game. Thank you very much for listening, class. You may go.